Okay. Anyways.
We'll get to the song of the week at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
It's not that, but we are the Backseat Crew.
Yep.
Yay. This is the first time we've had 3 chairs.
Yeah.
We've always left room for the missing person.
Oh, I just realized that we don't have a pumpkin or a hat or
I know.
anything.
I know.
We'll use your cup.
Danny.
Danny is recovering from wisdom teeth surgery.
Yeah.
Have y'all had your wisdom teeth out? I know you have.
I have, but I didn't have surgery. They just got pulled.
Ooh, I couldn't do that. I've had mine out. I had 2.
What do you mean by not surgery, but you've had them pulled?
Like they just numb your
Nothing.
mouth and pull.
Oh.
I've gotten all 4 out.
No,
Oh,
I was
that
put,
way?
Yes.
Oh.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
You know, I was put under.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was 15. I was pretty young.
To be put under was just too much money, and I was like, I'll pay the $50, just pull them.
Speaking of Danny, she just Instagram DM'd me. We're recording right now, Danny.
God.
Get on top of it.
Jeez.
But yeah, I just because I like going off topic, like first things first. Did you went under? How long were you out for? Like I was out for like a week.
Like mentally.
Just not doing anything. I was like bedridden for a week.
Oh.
Playing Animal Crossing on my 3DS.
Okay, so. It's a good question.
She doesn't remember.
It's weird because like I remember like stressing out about it like beforehand because I was like, oh no, I'm gonna be like all those people who do those videos after wisdom teeth. And I'm gonna be just mentally out of it when I come back too. But that really wasn't the case for me. Like I came back too and I was fairly lucid afterwards, and I was just like, what was I freaking out about? I don't.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
I remember waking up. Like I remember being in the dentist chair, them telling me to get into the wheelchair and being like wheeled out to my mom's car.
Yeah.
And I remember just crying. I was just like felt tears. It was an emotional experience. I told my mom I wanted McDonald's, I think, on the drive home.
I think technically I could have gone back to work after a couple days, but like each time I got one pulled, it took me like 3 days because especially one of them, the dentist, didn't wait for it to numb all the way before he started pulling. So I mean like a cartoon, legs in the air, I'm holding on because all I want to do is punch him. I just want to punch him in his freaking face. But then afterwards when I got in the car and got home, then it numbed all the way.
Yikes.
So because he pulled so much, it felt like all my other teeth were moving and it drove me crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, because I was like, my teeth were like, it felt like they were itching and moving and I couldn't do anything about it. It was like, it was a real mental thing.
That sounds awful.
It is.
But I guess we'll hear from Danny next week, hopefully, of what her experience has been. Because she's had all 4 removed at the same time. I only had 2 ever. I was lucky in that.
I had all of mine removed at one go. Because I had one that was like hurting, so we went to check it, and and like basically if I waited too long, the root was going to curl around a nerve. And that would have been really hard to get out, and that would have been a problem.
Oh, teeth things.
My mom doesn't like teeth things. She's always been like, ew, teeth. But in terms of like getting surgeries done, I had a couple surgeries done, like I think age of 15 and then 17, my wisdom teeth, and then appendix. At the time, I would have technically been in school, but I was homeschooled. Because I feel like most people don't get their wisdom teeth out until college, but I was like 15.
Oh.
But speaking of public school and homeschool and stuff, we can't divide the table, which is very upsetting because Danny is not here. But if Danny was here, we could divide the table on public versus homeschool.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, should I start since I was the only one that went to public school?
Yeah.
I guess.
You were in the same like school like for your whole life. You didn't move around schools. Like,
No,
you were
yeah,
in
the same district.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Because overall, if you ask me like, okay, were you happy that you went to public school and you weren't homeschooled? Yes, I was. Because of that, even though it was like, the bad things about public school to me was bullies and anxiety, depression, all that good stuff that comes along with bullies. But like I met my friends, like my lifelong, we're gonna be old, like 80 and still be friends in high school. So it's like, I wouldn't be the person I am today without that experience, I think. And I, in middle school, begged to be homeschooled. I wanted to be homeschooled so bad because I was so afraid of going to middle school. And like, cause you hear all these like bad stories and they're true. It's horrible. But in the long run, I think it was the right decision to make to go to public school.
Yeah, I was homeschooled for the majority of my life, but I was in public school occasionally. So the times I remember being in public school was for a brief period in 4th grade, and then probably, I want to say, it was definitely 5th grade, but I went into the year late, but I finished the year. And that was the first time I've ever finished like a school year, was in 5th grade. And then after that, 6th grade up, I was homeschooled completely. But there was times like where I wanted to be in public school because, like, you know, you just want to be like a normal kid, like, oh, just go to school. But I had, when I was in public school, they had the IEP plan because like my allergies and stuff like that. I do think that if I would have been in public school, I would have found out I had ADHD sooner. Because I was homeschooled for so long, my mom like adapted and I adapted to like whatever I wanted to learn, versus public school, they'd like, it's strict guidelines. And I feel like I would have struggled a lot more like later on. But when I was homeschooled, like I was able to pick what I wanted to study for the most part. Because my mom was very like hands off, which some people might look at it as a bad or a good thing depending on. But like I feel like I was more invested in like learning about like credit and finance and things. Like the things that interested me were like stuff like that and like researching. Like I remember when I was younger a lot, my mom had a couple problems with her car and I figured out like what was wrong with her car. Like I saved her like hundreds of dollars by just researching like stuff like with the car. And like I loved doing stuff like that.
That's cool because like that's one thing I kind of the main reason I wanted to be homeschooled in middle school was because of bullies, but I also did hear that you get to kind of choose the courses you take. And as you know, the public school system, at least here, you don't learn any of that. You don't learn really, I think you have like maybe one class that has to do with finances and all that. And it's like, it's not even a full year class. It's like one semester. And so you're pretty much after high school, unless your parents teach you, you're thrown to the wolves. You don't know how to do anything.
Yeah. Like I remember despite like liking like learning about credit and finance, I applied for my first credit card at the age of 18 because like I wanted to start building credit. And y'all like to make fun of me, but I have like 6 credit cards because of like the benefits. Don't give me that look, Becca.
Well, you're smart. I don't make fun of you. I think it's smart.
I mean, I'm over
like
here
when
with
you
no
first hear
credit
it,
cards,
it's
so
like,
I can't.
Well, yeah, I guess it's a little jarring because it's like, why do you have 6 credit cards?
But then you explain it, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like I'm not in debt. Like I pay it off in full every month. Each card I have has offered me different benefits, and that's why I have them. So, like some of them offer like really good credit or really good points on like travel or grocery store or gas and stuff. So I just use it in that way. But I don't know. I admittedly didn't really learn about like history or science as much. Definitely not science as much because my mom is also very bad at science. Sorry, Mom, you are. We both are. Our family has never been like math or science inclined at all. But like in the same vein though, it's like I think I'd like to think I turned out better because of it. Like I didn't have as much of a social life, admittedly, because my mom didn't do like those church homeschools, which I know you kind of did, Becca.
Yeah, kind of.
But my social life kind of started when I was 14. I started volunteering, and I met someone else who was like a year older than me, so we kind of became friends. And that's kind of where it started. Yeah. And then I've been explaining college has been my high school experience for the most part. So,
what about Becca? Have you ever been to public school at all?
I was there for 1 year for kindergarten, but
I did
it
not
wasn't
know that.
okay. So we were stationed. My family was stationed in Italy at the time. They wanted me to learn Italian, so they put me in this Italian school for a year. I did not learn Italian, and then I was homeschooled for the rest of it. And I would say unlike your family, like my family was a lot stricter with the curriculum and stuff. We didn't really get to choose. The closest I've ever gotten to like choosing my own curriculum was the 1 year where my mom had me doing Latin, and I was just like, Mom, please. Mom, no, I can't. And then I didn't have to do Latin. And outside of that, it's pretty much just been whatever. I took like the same writing course all through like high school, like middle school and high school, like different levels of it, but the same curriculum. So I got really good at writing essays. But yeah, I obviously, like you said, I did do like homeschool groups and stuff. So co-ops is what we would call them. Basically, I believe the entire point of the co-op was basically to, one, socialize you with other kids your age, to learn how to behave properly in a classroom setting. Those are the main reasons. You didn't really do any classes that counted towards actual like GPA or anything until you got into high school. And even then, some of them were kind of like the high school chemistry class I took was nothing like the college chemistry class that I did here, and that did make me switch careers.
That's right. Like, didn't you say you want to be a veterinarian?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Literally before I started coming to college here, the plan was veterinarian, and then I took a college chemistry class, and I was like, I cannot do this for 8 years.
Well, that's the ironic thing too. I don't know if it's just this town or if I just didn't know a lot of people before, so I wasn't sure. There's a lot of people that are homeschooled here.
Yeah, there's a really big homeschool population in this town.
And like my friend that I met while volunteering, she was also homeschooled.
Yeah.
And did like the whole virtual program that's offered in the state. But she's now getting her master's degree in chemical engineering.
Nice.
So she's insane. Because yet again, chemistry, like I took, the first science class I ever took was general biology here at the college, and then intro to environmental science. 2 hardest classes I've ever taken.
Honestly, biology was an easier class for me than chemistry because I had to retake biology like twice when I was 13. Because again, I was like, oh, I want to be a veterinarian. So my parents were like, okay, well, you need to get a good grade in the science classes. So you're going to take that twice, even though I got a passing grade the first time. So biology was easy for me because that was all information I already knew. Chemistry was a whole other beast. Basically, I was mostly just betrayed because I thought we were just going to be memorizing the periodic table. They give you that during the test. It's just math disguised as a science. That's all chemistry is. That's all it was. I was like, first day, professor was like, all right, conversions. I'm like, why?
Be nice to it.
I'm sorry.
It's delicate.
You know what I find interesting is that, like, because, like I say, socially, all throughout school, I had different social interactions. Like, I didn't really find my solid friend group. It formed in middle school, and it was, like, concrete in high school. But one thing is that, like, because the thing is, when I speak about bullies, like, you don't have to go to public school to be bullied. You can be bullied and be homeschooled, you know. But, like, for instance, in high school and middle school, like, first half of high school, I was a horrible student. Not because I didn't like school and I didn't like learning, but I got bullied so much that I missed more than half the school year because I didn't want to go to school. And so it's like, when you go to public school, you do learn how to act in social situations. You can make friends, but the flip side of that is that you can have bad social interactions that hinder your education. So...
Yeah, I had my fair share of, I guess, bullying. Not really peer pressure, but definitely bullying because of my allergies and stuff like that. I think I may have mentioned it on the show before, but like they wouldn't let me go on the playground when I was in elementary school. And when I was in gym class, they made me wear winter gloves, like because if we were playing like dodgeball, like I wear like, winter gloves because I couldn't touch what the other kids were touching.
Wow. Way to just single you out.
And like I had to set at like my own table in the lunchroom, and I could invite a friend. Like I always said I could have one, but I didn't have friends. So I didn't. And I don't know. It wasn't.
The lunchroom in high school
Most of them are pregnant now, so that's karma in itself.
You know what? I think about that all the time. All my bullies, whenever I think of them, I'm like, they got pregnant at 16. Whatever. Okay, that's your karma.
Yep. But just in general, that's just one thing that I've been thinking about. It's like there's so many people I knew from, and it was a small town, admittedly, but like so many of them are married and like have a kid now, and they're the same age as me.
I know.
What?
It's freaky.
It is. It's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong.
It's not wrong.
It's like weird. You're young, live.
Were y'all ever like peer pressured? Because it goes along with bullying, but it's a different type of bullying.
I don't think it was. Not that I remember.
Like I was never explicitly bullied or peer pressured growing. Like, and usually like when it was peer pressured stuff, like I would usually be too weirded out by whatever it was to do it for a bit. But I would say like on the flip side of that, while I was never like explicitly bullied in high school, I never felt like most of my friendships and stuff were not like made to last. I don't think because I only had some, like with co-op and stuff, I only had a certain amount of people that I could interact with. So we all just, I think for the most part, we all just kind of hung out together because we were relatively the same age, and and we were the only options. So
Yeah.
I think we were just friends out of proximity than anything else. Because I don't talk to most of, like, there's nothing, like, for most of them, nothing explicitly wrong, but I don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah, I've heard of that, and I can't remember the exact terms, but it's like with friendships of like proximity friendships and true friendships. Like you're friends because you are in the same like space a lot of the time, and are maybe like in the same classes. But like once that leaves, like once you leave that space or like leave those classes, then you don't really hang out or be friends anymore. Versus like I feel like for us, I would like to think that like once we all graduate and kind of like go our separate ways, that we're all gonna like stick to messaging each other and like keeping up and tabs and all that.
Yeah, that's the hope. It is something that I've I do realize, like something I realized going out of high school is that like literally all the friends that I've made have been like proximity thing, and it's why it's taking me so long to get friends here, because I don't know how to make friends outside of forced interactions.
I'm the same way.
And I only have like less than a handful of friends from like childhood and stuff that I still talk to.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Like the friend that I had when we volunteered together, like I consider her like my best friend, because I mean she was my first friend in reality. But like we can go 6 months without texting each other.
Yeah.
And we'll pick right back up. I guess we're both kind of the type of people that like to be like in person. We're not really like texters or people that call on the phone. But like once we like are in person, I'm going to see her next month. We just pick back up where we were for the most part.
I think like you really see what relationships stand the test of time, especially like, you know, once you get out of school and like high school where you're forced in classes, but then you go to college and you go to different colleges and you have different classes because you're different majors. It's like without school, I realized it was like I would never have friends if I had not been in public school, because my God, that like forces you to talk.
Yeah.
But I have from high school probably 2 friends, I want to say, who were my best friends growing up that I still talk to. They've moved away. One I haven't seen in like a year or whatever, but we talk on the phone like all the time. And it's one of those things, it's like I said, we're going to be like at 80 and it doesn't matter if we don't talk for a year, we're still going to, you know, be strong.
Yeah.
And I've made some friends like that in college too.
Yeah. There's this one friend that my mom's had, and my mom's gonna get mad if I call her out and say what her exact age is, but she's had this friend for like, I want to say almost 30 years at this point. This friend's like I want to say decade or 2 older than my mom.
Wow.
But they've been friends for decades, literally. So
cool.
That's awesome.
yeah, we're gonna be there one day.
I know my mom has this one friend she got from tech school back when she was in the military that we call her our aunt, just because like that's how close they were. And we don't talk to her too often. I did go on my senior trip with her and my mom, and that was cool. But I do think it's cool that even that like we literally consider her family. And we're back.
Technical difficulties.
Nothing happened here.
Nothing happened at all.
No.
We're sailing along.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Someone. Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be off topic from the start, just because we restarted. Becca, your hair.
What?
Did you not notice her hair?
What, the bangs?
The bangs in the middle part.
Okay, here's the thing. I was looking at her when we were doing the show and I was like, is that new? But like I didn't acknowledge it because I was like, what if it's not new?
I've said before, I don't acknowledge people's hair. Like I don't pay attention to people's physical features.
Down, right?
Yeah, it's like more wavy.
Did you cut it yourself?
No. That's the sad thing, is that this was she did like some layers in like the bangs, and like their bangs aren't exactly. I didn't ask for like a blunt cut like this. But like I was like, I'm not gonna bother asking for her to correct it, because it was already shorter than I intended it to be. So I was like, I'm just gonna leave them be and let them grow out. Supercuts.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Like you paid like it was just like my mom was like, hey, me and your sister are gonna go get haircuts. Do you want to come along? I was like, you know what? Sure. But
impromptu.
Yeah. So like you pay $20 for a haircut, you get a $20 haircut. That's what that's just what it is.
You gotta do that thing. You gotta.
When they may give it like 3 months maybe when this grow out a little bit, probably more than 3 months. I'm trying to think of how fast hair grows.
I'll give you my hairdresser's number.
Thank you.
I got you.
I appreciate that.
Oh my
Anyways.
gosh. Oh, why does my flashlight keep turning on? But Marissa, you said that something about peer pressure. To round out that topic now that we're back.
Well, I was like, we could circle back to peer pressure. So here's the thing about peer pressure. No.
What's the thing about peer pressure?
Well, you guys are talking about how you guys weren't necessarily like peer pressured a lot. And this kind of goes back to public school versus private school, because I feel like that's kind of like a given when you're in public school that you're going to be peer pressured. I was always pretty good to not give in to peer pressure. Like, I've never smoked.
Nice.
I didn't start drinking until I was 21. I was like, yeah, I'm square, okay? But, like, I don't get peer pressured easily into doing stuff. But, like, my peer pressure was more, like, social peer pressure. Like, not to, like, drink and stuff, but, like, kind of, like, I don't know how to describe it. Bully peer pressure.
To like, change things?
Yeah, kind of, like, a peer pressure to, like, change your personality. Like, assimilate to something else. But, that's just what I wanted to say, because y'all were saying that, like, y'all weren't really peer pressured. And I was like, I remember being peer pressured a lot. I remember just not buying into it a lot. Which, as you get older, it becomes easier each grade. Because like I said, I had a solid friend group. And when you have a solid friend group, it's like, no, I'm not going to do this thing. I'm going to hang out with my friends. So.
Well, I think our backseat directions might...
I
don't know if... I honestly can't remember at this point. Everything blends together. But I feel like it's pretty relatable. Just in the sense of talking about school or like changing as a person maybe and all that. I don't know if we have it up for our backseat directions, but this one's pretty long. This one's kind of a longer one. No epilogue. This one comes from April 2nd, 2016 to September 23rd, 2021.
Oh.
So 5 years.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and read this one for this week. It says, to my 22-year-old self, hi, this is your 17-year-old self writing to you from 5 years ago. You're probably quite tired today, but thank you for taking the time to read this email. I hope you're not procrastinating or anything right now, smiley face. I know you're in a good place today. At this point, I'm treating you as a different person. Change is great in a span of 5 years, so I guess you're the only one I can talk to right now. I am feeling alone and depressed. I'm facing anxiety right now. I'm worried about a lot of things, and I want assurance that all my worries are wrong, and you can do that. I'm listening to the Melancholia playlist on Spotify as I'm typing. It has been a slow day. I don't feel like doing anything. Something wears me down. I feel like I'm suffocating. I'm now in the last half of my second year in university. I feel inadequate. My life is a mess. I'm having trouble dealing with procrastination. I need constant reassurance. I feel like I have to grow old and mature faster than my age because of my environment. I always feel like what I do is not always enough. Nothing makes sense. I'm young and I tend to do stupid actions and decisions. I can get reckless. Dear, please tell me that I survived all these things. Tell me that I'm wrong and tell me that I don't have to worry about anything. Dear 22-year-old self, I look up to you. I'm hopeful about the future. Wherever you are today, I hope you are truly and immensely happy and that you are now mature and smarter and more brilliant than ever. I know you are. And that you'll survive all the obstacles in the span of 5 years. And that all of my hopes and dreams about you have come true. We will make that happen. Make it happen. And then there's a kind of a list of things. So that you have worked hard for what you want, graduated college on time, get a fulfilling job, a job that you love to do, travel the world and meet new people, bring a queen in your own way, being a queen, never stepping down just to meet other standards, never forget those people who love you and take care of your sister, practicing self-love, that you have learned a new language or two, that you are well-versed in your field, into deep thinking, that you are smart with guys, if you ever have had a boyfriend by now, that you put your talents to good use. And just in case you forget, you are awesome and there are many people who love you. Yes, you are such a complicated girl, ha ha ha, but according to your friends so far, you are very nice and sweet, and you are one of the best people. You are talented and amazing. You are equal to sunshine. You have good morals. Please don't lose it. That is more important than anything in the world. Don't tolerate anyone who tells you otherwise. I hope you don't go bitter in this world. There is hope always. I know that we're just getting started. Write to me and tell me that you've achieved most of the dreams that I have longed to have. I'd be very happy to hear from you. I'll meet you soon, your 17-year-old self.
That was so sweet.
I know.
Oh my God, that's very relatable.
I know.
This is a really mature 17-year-old. The way they're writing.
I related so much.
Well, the whole like don't get bitter and that like just the way they spoke, I was like, wow, you can tell this person maybe had to grow up a little fast. Like,
Yeah.
well, I heard 17 and second year of university.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. I related to this one a lot.
I know. I thought about that. I was like, I remember that because of the time frame, but it passed me. I was like, did Sophie write this?
Well, that I did actually go. I wish I wouldn't have, but I did go to see. I thought I had wrote 2 letters, and you can log into your account to see how many you've sent.
Mm-hmm.
So I logged into my email, didn't read it, but I have sent one to myself. That is supposed to be coming this year.
Ooh.
So,
When'd you write it?
Huh?
When'd you write it?
I think it was 5 years.
Whoa.
So this is 5 years.
God, intense.
I know. But yeah, I read this one. I was like, oh.
I hope that like even if she right?
Yeah. I
Even
think
if
so.
she hasn't achieved all the goals that she laid out, that she's happy, because we talked about this at the beginning of the year. When you set goals, it kind of makes you feel bad when you look back and you haven't achieved them, which is why I say I don't set goals anymore. But like I hope that she's in a good mental space to where it's like she does it, even if she hasn't achieved those. She's like, yeah, well, there's time. You know, she's only 22.
Yeah. I'm maybe 21.
Oh.
She's only a year younger than me.
Yeah.
Older. Yeah. Older. I can speak.
It's very relatable.
No, because she was 17 in 2016.
So yeah.
So she'd be 2 years older.
Oh yeah, 1999, I guess. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Might be an early birthday.
But the whole like, what is it? She said anxiety and all this stuff. I was like, oh God.
Yeah, I read this one. I was like 11 o'clock last night when I was like, yeah, go
Emotional
to
time.
page 9 of future me.
I don't. Do you think she will do an epilogue?
I don't know, because it was last year. So technically, okay. So it was from 2016 to 2021. So it's been like at least a couple months since it's been. So I don't know.
Kind of hope she does.
I think it would be cool
Yeah.
to do that.
Aw.
But I read that. I was like, ah.
Yeah.
But moving on to our backseat song of the week.
What is it? Because I didn't see it on there.
Are you kidding me? We were literally jamming to this song right before the show.
Oh.
We were literally screaming this song.
I didn't know that was a song. I thought he just played it. And I
No,
was like, okay.
that is the backseat song of the week. "Girlfriend" by Avril Lavigne.
Hey, you. I don't like your girlfriend. Think you need a new one.
I remember the Just Dance too.
Oh, yeah.
Dance to not word for word, dance to dance. That's I guess how you would say
I remember we talked about this. Everyone wanted to be the punk
Yeah.
girl. No one wanted to be the nerdy
it. No one wanted to be the nerdy
Because she was
girl.
preppy. She wasn't nerdy. She was preppy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You had to be player
One?
1 or 3. I remember
Yeah.
it being odd numbers. So you had to have like the Wii controller that was player 1 or player 3 in order
Me
to
and
do
my
it.
friend would fight over that. We're like, no, I'm punk.
Oh man.
I'm a princess. Listen, that's a great lyric. We can't
It
say it,
is.
but that I love
breath
that, like,
from my
because she
finger.
has another song. I'm not gonna remember the name of it, but she uses that the princess one, and like it's like it's her name, it's her catchphrase,
Like her
and she's
motif?
yeah, her motif, and it's just like I love hearing it in songs. I'm like, that's the calling card.
That's it.
That's Avril Lavigne.
Oh man. But yeah, that was our backseat song of the week. I have, speaking of music, I have the backseat aux. I always almost said the wrong thing. The backseat aux Wednesdays 4 to 5 for all your K-pop needs and maybe some J-pop here soon. I don't know. Did I say Mondays or Wednesdays? I don't know. It comes out Wednesdays. This show comes out Mondays at 12 because I know dates.
I also know dates, which is how I know that you can tune in to Becca's Party Hour at Fridays from 7 to 8 on the alternation.
And I have the Y2K Wave where I play. Oh wait, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays from 12 to 1 where I play early 2000s and late 90s music.
And Danny has the Gray Mondays and Wednesdays 2 to 4.
Yes.
70s and 80s. But I've been Sophie.
I'm still Becca.
Marissa.
And then Danny in form, and then going backwards, Danny, Marissa, Princess Vespa.
Hey,
And this is the backseat crew.
we never do that. Why would you do that?
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Ron. Oh my gosh. Da, 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 da.